Hello there, world of tankers, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Rudels Blitz, and in today's video, I'll be playing in 3 tanks that you will most likely never get to have in your garage. There are obviously a lot of tanks in Blitz, and most of them are either available on the tech tree or available in the premium shop. And there are a lot of premiums, obviously, but none of them are usually gate kept. What I mean is, for example, the 114 SP2. It's a tier 10 Chinese heavy that was sold in crates, and it's coming back again this Black Friday in a draw. So Wargaming usually has a lot of tanks that are available once, and then they come back later. However, there are other tanks that Wargaming has had never show back up again. And we're going to be talking about those tanks today. The AE Phase 1, the Project Conf Panzer 07PE, and the Lorraine 50-ton, which, funny enough, was added into mystery boxes, but still has a 0. Whatever the heck drop chance of getting your hands on. These 3 vehicles are the 3 rarest high-tier vehicles in the game. Yes, I know the Kenyatta and other somewhat low-tier vehicles, like the KV-220, which I would have gone down and shown you, are very rare, especially on the NA server. Only press accounts have the tank because it was never sold on NA. But point being, there are a lot of very rare tanks, but in high tiers, Tier 9 has now 3 tanks that are basically impossible to get your hands on, 2 of which have a 0.05% drop chance. Good luck, that's a 1 in what, 20,000? Might as well go buy a lottery at your local vending machine. So we're going to start off with the AE Phase 1. This is a tank that I always wanted to get my hands on. I legitimately spent close to $1,000 on crates to try and get my hands on this vehicle. And while you may think that that is a lot of money, because it is, the major reason why is, first of all, Wargaming did not give me a press account at the time. It took them a very long period after that until I finally got a press account. And the second reason why I never was able, or should I say I spent a lot of money trying to get the AE Phase 1, is down to the fact that I like to collect all the high-tier vehicles in my garage. And up until that point, the AE Phase 1 was the only high-tier vehicle I did not own. I even had the IS-6 Fearless. And, well, here we are, AE Phase 1. The only way to get it is in the operation containers with a 0.05% drop chance. I have spent hundreds of thousands of gold trying to get it and achieved nothing. I literally have maybe 30, 40 battle pass tanks worth of certificates in my account that I can't do anything with except exchange them for gold over time, just because of the fact I've spent so much money on the operation containers. It's really sad that Wargaming has these tanks available, but not really, especially as a player who tries to collect them all. It's just, to me, really sad when you're not actually able to have a chance of getting them, unless you count the 0.05% chance a possibility. But yeah, it is a little disappointing to me, at least, that these are tanks that I've always wanted to get, but I never ever will be able to. Especially because the AE Phase 1 is actually a pretty solid vehicle, featuring solid mobility, great penetration, and pretty good levels of DPM. Ooh, where did we get penned? Right through our turret cheek. Okay, and we rolled 280. That's pretty bad, not gonna lie. But we're doing okay. We've penned 2 shots. We haven't bled too much in return. The VK90 made an over-aggression and is probably going to regret that. We're going to aim it on the enemy 183. A bonk. There you go. 400 damage shell. The best way to describe the AE Phase 1 is kind of a Tier 9 T110E5. It's definitely not what I would consider to be the best Tier 9 in the game. But it's not what I would consider to be bad either. It's got a really solid gun, and the mobility is actually pretty good on the tank. It also has 10 degrees of gun depression, allowing it to be very flexible on a ridgeline. Now we can see that the 183 is in the back. We can also see the VK90, El Bozo. Let's see what else we got over here. Well, let's aim it on the Object 84. Nope. Our shells do not want to hit that object. Well, for right now, I think the best play is just to wait. Our team is going to get the clear on that player, and we have the 183 in the back. Let's see if that 183 decides to try and poke. Well, maybe not, but we got the IS-7, we got the object. Bonk. Oh, it went high. One thing I don't like about this tank is the on-movement dispersion. It's rather mediocre, and you can see that as we play here. The gun likes to miss a lot of rather easy shots in the exposed opponents, but at the same time, you are tier 9, you do feature a really good gun, you do feature solid levels of penetration, and DPM, and armor, so you gotta give and you gotta take some. And for this tank, you have to sacrifice a bit of your accuracy on move to, in return, gain a really good gun, really good mobility, solid DPM, penetration. I mean, you can see the mobility here. It's not a slow tank. And because of that, it's actually really fun to mess around with and drive. So, obviously, the grill has gotten a clear into my teammates. We're going to aim at again, the on-movement dispersion of this vehicle it's a bit brain rot. I'm not going to lie. We do have support. We got a 268. We got a Kron. So, it's not like I'm alone here. I think the best play to make currently is to just sit and wait, because a 268 is going to make a play. We have the 183 right in front of us. Easy shell into the enemy FV2 and 5B 183, and the 268 gets the clear. Now we're going to push on the enemy grill. He is going to get a shot into me, and we get a shot right back. So there you go, a pretty good game. Dealing over 3,000 damage, getting a win, and a solid result overall. As we can see, the A-Phase one's a fun tank, and it's why I'm so disappointed that I can't get my hands on it. It reverses at 20, which is almost unheard of for American heavies. It has good mobility, as we saw, great gun depression at 10 degrees, solid pen, DPM, everything that you'd want. It's a great tank. It's just so sad that you really can't get your hands on it. Now we have the Lorraine 50-ton. This tier 9 French collector heavy is not as good as the AE. I can tell you that for a fact. The gun is incredibly annoying on its on-move dispersion. While it does have really good turret armor, its hull armor is absolutely trash. This is a tank that I'm not as disappointed I can't get my hands on, but still, I am a little sad that it is gatekept once again. This tank was only sold 2 times. The first was a couple months back. Wargaming had a disco event where it was in a special crate that had like a 0.02% drop chance. It was like the diamond lottery ball or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was. Somebody can remind me. But this tank had a basically impossible drop chance. I have not seen a single Lorraine 50-ton in the battlefield. It's funny that a company can work and spend time and money on developing these tanks and then basically make them impossible for players to get. It really is stupid and quite counterintuitive if you think about it, but oh well. That's the way Wargaming wants to balance their game, then go ahead, I guess, right? I'm not the one who makes the decisions, but I wish I was. So let's head to mid in the Lorraine and see what this absolutely goofy looking tank is able to do. Now I do like it. It's not a bad vehicle. It's got decent DPM. It's got 380 damage per shot with pretty good mobility, although it should be faster. It should go 45, but it's a decent tank in its overall characteristics, which at least allow it to be somewhat okay. I'm not sure what this T-54 is doing, but interesting play. That's a real player there, ladies and gentlemen. That's not an AI. That's a real human being. Yo, guys, look at me go. Wow. What am I looking at? Pretty bad roll. 338. That's what I'm looking at. All right, well, let's reload again. Oh, we got the ISU. Bonk. See ya. Now, I wonder if we actually out-reload the Cobra. We should technically out-reload him because we do feature... Oh, well, I guess it doesn't matter. Let's see. We got the Centurion Mark 5-1. Bonk. Ooh, 427 into U. We have the Tortoise. We got the RAAC in the back. Let's see if we can get a... Oh, we got you. Bonk. Nice. 607 roll. Now, something that you may be asking is, Droodles, why are these tanks only in... I knew I was going to light them on fire again. I was just hoping we'd do a little bit more. But you might be asking, Droodles, why are these tanks only in tier 9? Why are there no tier 10s that Wargaming's making absolutely impossible to get? And I can tell you the answer. It's because Wargaming knows that comp exists in tier 10. And if they were making tier 10s that were impossible to get your hands on, the competitive community would have an absolute mold. And I don't blame them, to be entirely honest. It's bullcrap that there can be tanks that could be technically overpowered, that only people who got really lucky in a random percentage get their hands on. Basically giving you a huge advantage over other players in comp. That's not fair. That should not be allowed. So I understand why Wargaming has at least not made tier 10s impossible to get. I think that it would be really stupid. I still think it's stupid that Wargaming has tanks you can't get to begin with, but there's nothing I can do about that, so oh well. I mean, if Wargaming wants to make these tanks really rare, they should make it so that they're reward vehicles in something like a mission marathon. I've talked about mission marathons in the past and how they could be balanced in a way to make the game, you know, fun. On World of Tanks PC, you have the Object 279E, the Object 260, the T28 HTC, and the Excalibur, and these vehicles that are only accessible if you grind and you spend a lot of effort and time on the game. And I think that's how vehicles like this should be classified, not as the stupid way that they are. But again, it's Wargaming's decision, and they have decided to make these tanks impossible. So the Lorraine, as we can see, did a fine job. Its gun is okay, and its DPM is solid, you know, if you're running gun rammer, which I wouldn't recommend, but if you are running gun rammer on this vehicle, you can get it up to 2600, which is okay, but I don't really care too much about this tank, to be honest. I've only played it a handful of times, being 40. I do okay in it, but it's just not what I consider to be my cup of tea. And then we finish off with the Project Conf Panzer 07PE, which is the newest tank added into the game. And not only that, it is literally impossible to get unless you open 1,500 mystery boxes, or occasionally when Wargaming sells mystery box level 2s or 3s in the store. The mystery box scandal, I'm going to call it, it's basically a pyramid scheme if you think about it. You have to open up mystery box once, and after you open, it's like 15 mystery box level 1s, you get a mystery box level 2. And after you open 15 mystery box level 2s, you get a mystery box level 3. And after you open 15, or I think it's 10 maybe, mystery box level 3s, you get a grand mystery box. And that gives you the Project Conf Panzer 07PE guaranteed. Now, technically, you can get this vehicle in normal mystery crates with like a 0.5% drop chance or 0.05, depending on how many crates you've opened. But essentially, the chance of you getting this vehicle in mystery crates is almost impossible. Yes, there will be people out there that get it. There are hundreds of thousands of people that play this game across the servers, and obviously, if you have 100,000 people and it's a 1 in 20,000 chance, that means that just alone there, at least if one person out of the 100K, you know, 5 people should technically get it. So if out of 100K people, each one open 5 crates, and that means, you know, there could be 100 people that get this tank. So you will see this tank more than I think the AE Phase 1 and the others, because it's in a crate that's sold more often, not like the useless operation container inside the battle pass. But apart from that, again, this is going to be an incredibly rare vehicle that you rarely ever see played. Now, I actually really like this tank. I think that it is a shame that Wargaming balanced a tank really well for once, and then put it behind a paywall that you can't get unless you spend $1,000+, which is incredibly stupid, bruh. Well, what do we have? We have the Stritzvon 81, we got the T30, oh, we got the TS5, aiming. We're just going to load a gold shell. Nice. This tank has really good accuracy, as you can see, which allows it to be quite confident when you are using it on a ridgeline or anything like that. Aw, that shell did not go where I wanted it to. Reverse speed is also great on this tank, as we can see, allowing you to get into cover and not really have to worry about your enemies doing too much of anything to you. So TS5 pokes, there you go, another nice shell, 320 damage. Just like that, we've taken off half of his health, and I don't think that he is enjoying our company all too much. We have the T30 and IS5 over here. We're aiming on the T30. Bonk. There you go. 394 damage shot. We are already over 1,000 now. And you can start to see why I really enjoy this tank. Like, the gun, it's not, you know, truly incredible. It doesn't feature super high DPM. It's only 2200 with Cali, which is not bad, but it's not anything, you know, busted. But what's nice about this tank is that it has good armor, good mobility, good DPM, good everything. And that makes it an incredibly flexible and enjoyable tank to drive. I mean, you can see the mobility here. It's fast. It goes 42 kilometers per hour. And not only that, it has a great power to weight ratio. It reverses at 18. So it's got all the makings of a good heavy. Not only that, but the gun is incredibly accurate, has great levels of heat penetration. Overall, the gun is really nice on this tank. I have no complaints about this vehicle. Give me some room, Conqueror. It's not that hard to let your teammate get through. So, yeah, I mean, not the highest farm in this battle. Obviously, this was a steamroll, and our team did a pretty good job getting some damage out here. Let me guess, this Conqueror's going to get in my way? Well, we're still going to get the shell out, but yes, 100% that Conqueror was going to get in my way. But I can't get too mad. We did 2,000 damage, which, I mean, for the game that we had there, that's the best we could do. I should have played a little more aggressive, but you never know what's going to happen. Sometimes if you play too aggressive, your team falls apart. So I'm fine with the plays that I made, and we still did completely fine in this game. I really like the whole line, or not line, I like this tank. You can see I played 4 games in it with 3,400 average. All 3 of these tanks are actually pretty solid, and it's so sad that Wargaming makes them all impossible to get. I wish that for once in Wargaming's lifetime they would allow for these tanks maybe once every Christmas or somehow in the auctions or something like that to be available. Every year I pray that the A Phase 1 is going to come into the auctions, but every year Wargaming disappoints me. So, oh well. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and if you would like to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.